So pre-COVID, the creative industries was worth about 111 billion in terms of GVA. We export over 60 billion in terms of goods and services. And year on year, for the last 10, 15 years, the sector has grown exponentially, far faster than the economy as a whole.
Until the pandemic, we were one of the growing industries in the UK, and we were generating useful revenue and profile. I mean, if you think about what the West End does for tourism, and the amount of money, again, footfall it's bringing into London and into our big cities, it's huge.
The vast majority of people who work in the creative industries are self-employed, people who write and direct and design and light and perform in shows. And very few of them are rich, and particularly in the performing arts, those people have fallen between a lot of stools.
There has been a hint of a rhetoric about actually don't go into the arts, do something more useful. That isn't helpful and it isn't true.
And many were doing side hustles already. So the idea of, retraining is a bit insulting sometimes.
The one thing that I have really been reminded of in these past months and still is the resilience of artists. Change is something that is constant within our industry.
Freelance creative artists, we're all very good at problem solving. We are all very entrepreneurial. That's the nature of the sector that we're in. You don't need to give us much for us to turn it into something fabulous.
Obviously, a lot of actors, most actors in fact, have lots of side hustles and jobs. And they're precarious by nature.
They're not lying around at home waiting for handouts. They're doing everything they can. As I think you're probably aware, a huge number of people in the theatre industry got to work making scrubs, organising deliveries of community food parcels.
The lead in my last show that I directed, who should be in the West End now, has retrained as a teaching assistant, and good for her and lucky them to have her, but she could be playing the lead in a show making lots of money for the government through VAT.
So I'm now a delivery driver, and it's really physical work. It is very different to what I used to do day to day, obviously.
I'm not singing, which is like my release. So I've ended up, because I needed to, financially and mentally, I needed to find something to do. So I've applied for other jobs, other career paths, and I've actually got a job. And I started, this is my third week, training in real estate.
Prior to the pandemic, I had got myself a job in a private school teaching drama one-on-one, and I was so fortunate to be furloughed at the beginning of the first pandemic lockdown, and this has meant that we had some money to survive on.
You can catch me driving for Deliveroo, cycling for Deliveroo rather, which is at least a way to stay fit and make a couple of quid.
I'm now doing a different career. I'm going to see how it goes, and hopefully theatre is back so soon.
The World Economic Forum has said for the last 3 or 4 years that creativity is going to be one of the key skills that we need to build the fourth industrial revolution.
I think optimism, no. Pragmatic determination to make sure we get back to a good place, I think, is where I'm at the moment.
Look, give us the money. It's not very much, and we will thrive.
When we come back, we can play a major role in driving economic recovery. And I think that's the bit that there's, if we don't have the people around us to do that, we're not operating at full strength.
There's absolutely nothing wrong fundamentally with their business model. So let's make sure that we do have the next generation of talent, and we have the investment that we need so that they can, be strong again.
if you don't look after the people who write their first play in a 50-seat fringe theatre and then go on to write Game of Thrones, in 10 years' time, there won't be a Game of Thrones.
Hopefully, I'll see you on stage.